Where's your go? There we go.
Coffee says hi. Hello everyone, it's another day, another stream with me, Munii. And the fiercest of bards. And half of biscotti.
And half of biscotti, yes.
I may have to nab the doggo.
Mm-hmm.
Let me nab him. Nabba dabba dabba.
Oh.
You know what you get? You get butt smacks. Butt smack.
Butt smack.
That.
He gets butt smack. No, he doesn't. He didn't get any butt smacks. Some animals love it though.
Some of them do, yeah.
So, what's up with Bard?
What's up?
Do you want to share with chat what our latest obsession is?
Our latest obsession? I don't even really know what the video series is called or what it is.
It was okay. But... It was basically a reimagining of the birth of baby Jesus. For clarity, we're not particularly religious.
yeah. This is not a thing, but
but somehow it came across like my because I was scrolling on Instagram, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, oh, like what's this thing? And it was basically a retelling of the birth of Jesus, but through the eyes of a child. And that's always the best content ever.
That is always the best,
because it started out because like we're like really confused. I was like, what is this? And then I watched it and I'm like, Bart's gotta see this.
Yeah. And it was like at first I was kind of like,
Why are you
wait,
showing
what's
me
going
this?
on?
Like,
Yeah,
like,
why-
like you don't care about the birth of baby Jesus.
I was so confused for a moment there, and then I was like, oh wait.
You're like,
Hi,
wait,
friends.
wait.
Hmm.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello.
Let me see. Sorry, I don't know who said the hellos. It was llamas.
Islamas,
Oh
yeah.
my, welcome in. But yes, baby Jesus. The Jibba
Baby.
Jibbies.
Baby Jesus.
So why was it funny, honey?
Well, because it like again, it's a reimagining of the tale of baby Jesus' birth, but as told by children, and with adults basically
Lip syncing.
lip syncing to the
I put a
tale.
quest, by the way.
Okay. Well, I have come on. I will accept. Well, actually, I gotta accept the link party, right? So
You don't have
let's
to.
invite you.
But you
Invite you to
should.
link party. There you go.
Um,
Invitation sent.
why won't it let me accept it? Oh, because I'm on a. Oh, I have to wait.
Oh,
Wait, no.
of course.
Wait. Yeah, I can get it. That's because I was on a chocobo.
A chocobo.
The chocobo.
A chickaboo.
The chocobo.
But yeah, what's up, llamas? How you doing?
So yes, like while Lava tells us how they're doing with the highs,
Mhm.
so basically because the adults are reenacting whatever the children are saying, their acting was very peak, honestly.
It
They
was
took it
peak.
seriously.
Mm-hmm.
Like there was not a giggle. Whenever the children giggled, they giggled. They lip synced really well. It was like really well polished.
Yeah.
Like for what it was. But there was one particular scene that makes us laugh like consistently. Good, just doing some wilds before bed. Oh, you're pretty wild
Oh.
before bed, huh? I'm
Uh-huh.
the part when all members are ready.
Okay.
These are the event quests, by the way.
Yeah.
So it was. We have learned who said it afterwards, because we're like, huh, the accent is very southern sounding when they say this.
Oh
Do
man.
you want to see it? They don't say anything bad. It's just really funny how they say it.
Yeah, for some reason. So I guess in
just
the
makes
part
us
of the
laugh,
story, yeah, I guess that part of the story, baby Jesus is finally born, and everybody's kind of like
crowding around the
huddled
baby,
around.
yeah.
They're crowding around the baby to check out the baby, and then suddenly this guy comes out of nowhere from the side of the screen, and he's like, what is it? He says, "I love you, baby Jesus." No, wait. I love you.
No. You're the prettiest baby I've ever seen.
Yeah, you're the prettiest baby I ever seen.
I love you.
There, I said it.
Like something
And
along
it's
the lines of that, right? Along the lines of that. It's not one for one recreation of it, but for some reason that line of like you're the pretty, you're the most precious, or you're the prettiest baby
You're the
I've
prettiest
ever
baby
seen.
I ever seen.
And an adult man lip syncing that made us laugh so hard that we started crying.
It's like every like for a while there, we just kept saying that to each other.
Like I don't, we don't know what it is. Like, it's like the thing is that the kid is like not saying it to be funny. They're
Yeah.
genuinely like this is like this is their perspective on like, oh no, it wasn't you're the prettiest, you're the best baby I've ever seen. And it was just so genuinely funny for whatever reason, and we can't stop imitating it. And we're just like, you're the best baby I've ever seen.
You're the best baby I've ever seen.
I love you. I think they were trying to act as Joseph.
Oh, maybe. I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. But
So
yeah, it
weird.
was hilarious. God. And the thing is that if it wasn't from like an extremely like religious Instagram account, like, you know, I don't know why, but like for some reason, like everything else is just like, Jesus loves me, blah blah blah, and like, and again, this is not me trying to make fun of like people who are Christian or anything like that, right? But it's just, that was the funniest shit I've ever seen. Like Nosferatu, I rise.
You wise.
You know who else rises?
Oh,
In solo
who?
leveling?
Oh, ow.
Rise. I don't know. I just know that one scene where
Right?
a rise scene.
You know, everybody's been saying to watch Solo Leveling. I have not seen it yet.
Yeah, we have not watched it. But how are you, Country Shape? How are you?
Oh, how are you, Country Shade? Yeah. We hunting. We hunting here.
We're just Monster Hunter streamers, you know? Like, that's all we do. We don't stream anything else.
Yeah, clearly we. This is what actually we do. I'm not a fan artist here. I am not. And Munii is not a variety streamer.
On YouTube, you don't stream the art.
Oh yeah, that's true. I
technically.
actually don't.
You haven't made your YouTube debut yet to like prove what kind of streamer you are. Would you ever do your YouTube debut? Do you actually think you will ever do a stream?
You know, I've been thinking about it, but like I haven't been able to actually do it at this point because of my laptop, right? But I wouldn't mind trying. Like I honestly wouldn't mind trying.
Bard doesn't
like,
regularly stream on a laptop for anybody's confusion.
yeah.
He actually does, in fact, have a PC. He just, for my
It's just-
for when
yeah.
he visits me, he has to use a laptop. And when he does stream on his channel, you can see a full lady.
Oh, a full lady, as opposed to a half lady.
Well, the top of her head lady.
Yeah, at the top of her head, lady.
And Percy to confuse everybody. I'm good. Hoping my package comes in tomorrow. I finally see the 2024 Nosferatu. There was a 2024 version of Nosferatu?
Really?
And then I might set my sights on acquiring an animated adaptation of the original silent Nosferatu film. Interesting.
Oh.
Oh shit!
Oh shh. Okay.
It throw the chicken.
Whoa.
Oh, it throw the chicken.
Oh, the chicken
killed
just
the
got
chicken.
body slammed.
I killed the chicken.
Oh, now you're gonna kill the chicken. I'll keep fighting there at the end.
No,
while
it's
you kill
running
the chicken.
away.
I mean, it just got slammed. Like, you know, I
Slam
think
like it's at what wrestling match was it?
Oh, this is like Undertaker throwing Mankind off the Hell in the Cell.
That you had to explain to me?
Yeah, I had to explain to you that whole thing.
I mean, technically, I could probably take on the chicken by myself, arguably.
Technically, yeah. But if you need help,
I mean, if
just
I
let me
die,
know.
then you know that. I mean,
Well, oh god, I just got exploded.
I mean, it's an event, Rathalos. But yeah, behold, Roostersaurus Rex.
The Roostersaurus Rex just came back to fight the Rathalos again. I mean, the
there's a different
Rathian.
one, then.
Oh, that's a different one. Okay. Maybe they'll start fighting each other.
Because I'm with
Who
the
knows?
other one that got taken to Pound Town.
Oh.
But yeah, we were just talking about our love for children. Okay, children explaining anything is an amazing. It's already an amazing content because they don't even realize what they're saying is the funniest shit for whatever
Yeah.
reason. And like maybe that's the real reason why I want to have kids in the future, honey.
Maybe.
So that
maybe.
they can say like the funniest things to me, and I won't understand them half the time.
I mean, you know, it's okay if that's your reasoning.
Well, someone has like said that like sometimes children act like drunk people, like drunk adults, and it's like really funny. that everyone else can like have like a different opinion on it. No, I genuinely love children. You're a little awkward around children.
I'm a little awkward around children. I don't mind them though.
Yeah. I mean, you're fine with your niece and nephew nowadays.
Yeah,
But I think it's in part because they're not talking like adults yet.
No. That unnerves me when children start talking like adults. Oh man, that's kind of scary to me. Okay, let me change my bow, see if that helps this situation.
I don't know, like, is it because like they shouldn't be talking like that or something? Like what?
Yeah, it's like weird to me because it's like you said, they shouldn't be talking like that. Like there's something unnerving about that because it makes them a little bit unworldly to me, like in a horror movie.
I think it's just the horror movies.
Yeah. Because I don't know if you guys have ever seen like.
The chicken's going to be tackled.
Oh wow.
Oh, never mind.
But stuff like Children of the Corn and things like that,
Children
like
of the
weird.
Corn? That's what's called.
Yeah, Children of the Corn. It's like this horror series about like these kids that live in a town and they all have like I forgot, it's either magical or psychic powers or something like that. I forgot what it is, but they're all
do they
super
live with
creepy.
The corn?
You know what? Good question. I don't think they do. I think they do.
They live amongst the corn.
They live amongst the corn.
Then you should be afraid of me when I was a younger bard.
Oh no. Wait, really? I should be?
Oh my God,
wow, there's so many chickens here.
The chickens are attacking each other.
Oh.
I don't know, like,
Yeah.
there are many things that freak Bart out. One of them is ghosts.
Yeah.
The other one is Muppets.
Mm-hmm.
The ones that look too much like people.
Yeah. The ones that are freakily human.
They're too human-like, apparently. Bart's very specific with what his fears.
Look. One day you two will know the fear of them when when you encounter a human-like Muppet.
So, like, but you're completely fine with Swedish Chef.
I am, but because he's fun and he wants to cook for you. That's why. I know his MO. I know. Yeah, I know his what he's all about.
He's a
and
safe
stuff like
space
that.
for you.
Mm-hmm. Whoa,
Dang,
the chicken
these
came
chickens,
back.
like, are not dropping anything.
Yeah.
But where's the other chicken?
It like went away.
Did it despawn?
Okay, that chicken went up that way.
I'll chase after that chicken.
Okay.
But
I
yes,
just keep fighting Rathian.
yes, sometimes children can be like drunk adults. Though, your friends haven't experienced that yet with their 3-year-old. Soon to be 3-year-old, rather. Oh my god, why?
Yeah, Rathian came in here too. Oh.
Yes, heal me while I just recovered.
Yeah, that's been a really big complaint about the Palico's assistants in this game lately. Like, they will come and give you a healing potion after you've already drank one.
Children of the Corn have psychic abilities and live in a town surrounded by a cornfield and worship a demon masquerading as a messiah known as he who walks behind the rose.
Yes, he is like really creepy, and it's like, you know.
You watched a lot of horror films like growing up.
I have,
for some
yeah.
reason. I think because you also were friends with people who just love horror films.
Yes. It's a part of it is that, and a part of it is that, you know, like I've always been kind of surrounded by people who watch horror stuff.
It's funny,
you know,
like
especially
what media you watched and which ones you haven't though.
Yeah, right.
Because like there was a point of time where you watched a lot of the animated films. maybe in part because, like, granted, Hoff probably forced you to watch it with him. Because Hoff loves animation too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But like, there's also like a noticeable time when you stop watching animated films, and then you started to restart once I got into the picture.
I mean, it's mostly due to who I'm actively like
hanging out
with at the moment, right? That's usually what it is. So
well, you didn't
a lot
start
of times
getting into like wrestling from certain friends. You just happened to like wrestling, and the friends you were with also really are huge fans of wrestling.
Well, actually, like, arguably, I did start because of certain friends in middle school. Yeah, like, I wasn't naturally inclined to like it until I started. I had a friend in middle school who really liked it, and I was watching it with them a lot and stuff like that, right? So a lot of times, like, again, it's a lot of like, who am I hanging out with, and what are they very much into, right? Like. Yeah.
And apparently I'm very childlike and I'm very into reality TV. Oh, there's the other chicken.
Yeah, it's like over there or something.
Oh shit. What am I doing? Okay, now is the useful time for it to actually use it. Okay. But yeah, I'm very childlike and I love a lot of animated and cartoons, so Byron has been catching up on a lot of cartoons. As a result, like, we watch a lot of Pixar movies, actually.
Yeah,
Now, how did you find Turning Red? Turning Red, people didn't like because the kids were too
really?
much like kids.
Oh, I kind of liked it, but I guess, like, from a cultural perspective, I could relate to some of it, even if not, you know, the main message of it, right? But I kind of liked it.
Now the other one wants to fight.
Yeah, I keep focusing on the wrong one now. Now that this one's... I'm gonna chase the one that's running away.
Okay.
Which is also now coming back.
They need to make up their dang mind.
Yeah, it started running away, and now it's like in the middle of the river here, and just kind of being here.
Teletubbies was truly the most horrifying thing of all time. I would say two animated adaptations of the Night of the Living Dead, Night of the Reanimated Dead, and Night of the Living Dead, Darkest Dawn are the worth seeing. Have you watched any Night of the Living Dead? You don't
I have.
You like watching zombie movies, I feel.
Yes, I watch a lot of zombie movies. I've watched a ton of different types of zombie movies, including Night of the Living Dead, Return of the Living Dead, etc. of the Living Dead, whatever. You know, like
Oh my god, if the chicken fucking kills it, I will.
Oh jeez.
Stay away!
I'm fighting the one that's dying right now, so hopefully.
No, the Rathalos ran away.
Oh, okay. But yeah, I tend to like watching zombie movies, like the zombie apocalypse thing. I think because there's an inherent fantasy to it, right? Like, I know, like, a lot of people are like, what's so fun about, like, you know, like zombie movies in a sense, right? But it's like, I guess it's like the thought of like, what happens when everything falls apart? Like, what would you do? And like, just the idea of it, right? Like how would you survive? Who would you have near you? Like, what's the most important thing for you to do and stuff like that, right? Like those like, you know, like kind of like like
questions, like what
yeah
ifs?
Those questions are, those what ifs are actually really fun to think about.
Do you think it's because, like, out of all the monsters, you could argue they seem like the most likely one that could actually happen in real life?
Yeah, especially a couple of years ago when we started having all those instances of people
being zombies,
taking certain substances and acting like a certain zombie movie characters. Oh,
yours is Slade.
Yeah, mine's a Slade.
This one's almost dead.
It's well,
Okay,
it's running away.
You got this. Jab it in the giblets. Thank you. Like, what was it I was gonna say? The one thing I would probably say don't bother watching in terms of zombie movies is probably that you can do without is the Romeo and Juliet one.
Oh, I think I might have seen that one. Maybe.
It's a Warm
Um,
Bodies.
yes, I think it was called
Oh
Warm
my
Bodies,
god,
right?
I watched
Yeah,
that
yeah.
one too.
Mm-mm.
I was very. Oh, this is not the monster we were looking for.
Oh,
Where's
this
the
is a
Where's the
different.
chicken? Where's the chicken?
Yeah, where is the chicken?
Over there, over there, over there, over there, over there, 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 there.
Okay. Oops. I need to get to you now without getting myself killed. But yeah, I think I did think I
What
do
was your
believe I
thoughts on
saw
it?
that one.
Oh, I killed it. Okay.
The thing is, I don't remember much about it, which probably tells you a whole lot about my thoughts on it on the movie.
How could you attack me, you bitch? And you actually are a woman. so, Z Nation was a fun zombie apocalypse.
Oh yeah, is that the one that was on streaming channels? I think I saw that one. It was fun for what it was. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I didn't like. It's always this. What happens whenever I go on a date with somebody in the past and they take me to a movie? My date likes the movie, but I absolutely hated it.
Oh no.
So the guy I went, arguably, was it really a date? It kind of was. We didn't really. It was like one of those guy friends that like, was kind of leading me on. I shouldn't say kind of. They were full on leading me on.
Yeah.
Anyways, they really enjoyed it, and I was just like, no, I don't like this movie. They're like, why? And I'm just like, because it's so stupid. Like, it makes no. It breaks the whole zombie rule. Because you can't, like, because it's just basically like they're not really dead. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because, like, the whole point of being a zombie is you're a zombie, you're dead, right? You're not just like, oh, I'm, like, half alive, some bullshit, you know what I mean?
Yeah. That's Warm Bodies, right? Yeah.
More like it was an acquaintance meeting.
Well, like a lot of times they've been trying to do something a little new with the genre because everything has been kind of done with the genre.
I
at this
also
point.
thought it was kind of bullshit that he's like, oh yeah, I just ate the brain of your ex-boyfriend, and she's like, oh, not ex-boyfriend, of your boyfriend, essentially, right? Because that was what it was, right? Like, she was saying the guy, he technically ate the brain of the boyfriend, and suddenly, because where did it come from? The boyfriend just, like, loved the girlfriend so much that he, like, kept that the zombie him was, like, able to come to his senses. Like, what was the rule behind it, right? Like, I'm sorry, I'm the type of person who, like, if you're going to make a story, make sure it has, like, the world has to have rules in it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can't just bullshit around, you gotta think things through. Sorry, I'm one of those people. I like content.
Munii needs the logic of a zombie movie.
That's why I don't like a lot of kid animations nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of them don't write good stories. You know, like that was my complaint for Sonic and my complaint for the Mario movie is like they're writing these stories, but they're writing it with so many like without any reasoning to it. They're really just there to sell. They're just there to sell the IP. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Kids can have good stories with their movies. Sorry, I feel very passionate about, and I'm not even like that good of a writer myself. That's the thing, right? But I can tell a bad story from a good story.
You tend to be much more critical about the movies we watch than I am. I think like for me, I enjoy things to a certain point, right? But I let stuff slide a lot.
Well,
if they're fun, I do let it slide a lot.
I would, but like when you're trying to make it like a superhero like movie, I'm kind of like make it make sense, you know?
Yeah.
Cocaine zombies outbreak caused by cocaine contaminated coke. I feel like that's like what Cocaine Bear too, isn't it?
Cocaine, yeah, well, but Cocaine Bear was supposedly based on a
comedy?
real. No, no, it was based on a real event that kind of happened. It was in the news that they found a bear that was dead in the forest. Right, I forgot which
Was it consumed
where.
too much cocaine?
It consumed like a huge package of cocaine that supposedly dropped out of a plane. So yeah, like it likely somebody was trying to smuggle some in, and they tossed it out, and this poor
Unfortunately.
bear. Yeah, this poor bear unfortunately got into it, ate it, and went
OD.
kind. Yeah, yeah. So the idea of the movie was sort of based on a news report that of something that supposedly actually happened, but like probably was not as wild as the movie had it happen.
You know, it'd be real funny.
But
You write a story about Cocaine Bear.
you know,
It's like, bruh,
Bro.
that's brilliant.
it's like a bear that had too much cocaine, and then it's like crazy,
Bro.
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 It's a winner. That's a winner.
Bro, you can't take it back. We gotta make it now.
We gotta make it now. Yeah, yeah. There's no way we can't back out from this. We have to do this now.
We gotta make Cocaine Bear.
Yeah, that's how it works.
Oh my God.
You know, unfortunately, that's exactly how it works.
In the movie industry,
Yeah, yeah.
you know, right?
Yeah, yeah. Clearly, I'm clearly in the industry. I've been there for a while, and yeah, clearly.
Okay, I posted up the next quest. The quest.
Oh, the
We're
quiz.
doing all the event quests.
The quiz. Okay.
I ran out of money again. I only had 12 gold.
Oh wow. Okay. Okay.
Because you can't really sell anything in this game.
Mm-mm.
Everything's tradable now.
Oh, did you see what we got from the Rathalos event quest?
What do we get?
Go to Gemma and go all the way down to the bottom of your list of armors. It's not that amazing.
Well, not
or
like I
anything
can
like
make
that, but-
it.
Yeah, I guess not, right? But it's okay. So it's like
It's the
I
thought
think-
that counts.
Yeah, I think it's like an earring type of headgear, right? But it's made so that your character, like, it's basically one of those pieces of armor so that your character doesn't have a helmet, basically. Yeah, so I guess we need
You don't
like
want to
one more
have
figure
the
of those.
Mimi Fita?
Oh yeah, that was from the other event. I guess we didn't finish it.
No, I made it.
Oh, you made it? I didn't make it
You
yet.
can still make it. You
I
just
think
need
I
to
have the
get-
tickets
you just
for
need
it,
to
yeah.
get the item, yeah.
Hmm.
It's crazy how many spoofs happen because of Cocaine Bear. Heron Shark, Meth Gator, Crack-Coon. It's the same thing with like it's the same thing with what was it?
Mm-hmm.
Sharknado.
Sharknado. Yeah,
Except that
specific
wasn't based on
company.
a true story.
No, it was not. But that specific company specializes in making
Ridiculous
parody.
stuff.
Yeah, ridiculous parody movies like that are ripoffs of other things. Like they're the ones
What
that
was
are responsible.
Sharknado
Like
like a ripoff of? Or was that their own original IP?
that was their own original thing, sort of original thing. It was just so ridiculous. Like they on purpose make these ridiculous movies for Sci-Fi Network, like they were known for that, and then they started doing like parody movies like Transmorphers instead of Transformers and stuff.
Well, did you watch Transmorphers?
I did not. I admittedly did not watch
Invisible
that.
had it, but Rule 34 happened to the blacksmith lady that makes your weapon. That was always gonna happen. I'm surprised it didn't happen sooner.
You know, Gemma is
Gemma,
quite popular.
Alma,
Yeah.
You know
Alma.
who's I would be surprised is on the list.
Mm-hmm.
Warner.
Oh, Warner. Yeah, Warner.
But apparently Warner has his own fan base, which is more than Eric, which I'm very displeased
Wow.
about. Apparently more
That's-
people like Warner than they like Eric.
That's crazy. Seriously?
They don't like Eric's kissable lips, okay? They're nice.
I'm shocked by this.
They're nice and plump.
Are we gonna have to start the
Well,
justice for Eric?
You're not gonna draw it.
What?
You're not gonna draw it for me though.
I'll draw it for you.
You won't, cause you like drawing the women.
I'll draw Eric with the women.
Yeah, but like, okay, any character that gets somewhat popular is gonna have a Rule 34, even if they really shouldn't.
Yeah.
That's the rule of the internet. They're somewhat mildly popular. Someone's gonna draw something.
Oh yeah, someone's definitely gonna draw something.
Like that's
It's-
the unfortunate rule.
Yeah, it's the unescapable truth of the internet. You know, if person can be horny, then person will draw it.
If A equals horny, then yes.
Yes.
But yeah, like I was not surprised with Gemma. So people have been okay. So it's kind of funny how many people have been like, "Oh my god, this game is too woke because there is signs of pro LGBTQ couples," and then it's just like it's not really that they're LGBTQ couples. It's just that like Gemma sees like herself and Mackie. But when people said like, "Oh, like you know Gemma ex like Mackie," who is like the young girl in the other town, who like Gemma is kind of like, "Oh, I see myself in you." That wasn't my first pick for Gemma to have a roommate relationship with. It was actually Alma because I'm still on the train. This is my ship. Alma and Gemma are like a lesbian couple with Nata as their child, as their adopted child. And it works because Nata, in fact, does not have any parents anymore. He needs his lesbian parents.
He clearly, right? The Justice for Eric League starring Munii Woman and Bard Man, a whole new superhero universe.
No, it's funny how much I don't usually actually a lot of my favorite characters aren't usually men. Eric is one of the few characters where I'm just like, yes, and it happens to be like the most girly man that most people think it is. How does this reflect on Bard? Questionable. Like, but though a lot of the women that I like in mine are like very feminine, but also extremely toxic.
Oh yeah, that's true. Your favorites tend to have a very specific type. I feel like
they're all very problematic for some reason. I just think it's because I like the honesty for the problematicness. You know, like I'm just like, wow, that's a woman who knows who knows she's problematic and she's just like deal with it. And you know what? I respect that. You know, that's a strong, independent woman quality I like.
Yeah, Mooney's very into the problematic queens.
It's not that I can't fix her, because a lot of people are like, oh, it's because you can fix her, right? And I'm like, no. You don't fix perfection here. When do you ever fix perfection?
You know, I can't argue against that.
Or else people will be like, why haven't you fixed Mooney yet, Bard?
No, there's nothing to fix here.
She may harass me and tickle me too much,
Wow.
but that's perfect. My toxic trait is I like to tickle Bard, but he doesn't want to be tickled.
This is a relentless thing, by the way. You guys start thinking, oh, Mooney tickles Bard a little bit.
Delicately,
No,
maybe every so often.
this is nonstop.
It's not a tee-hee, like wow, little giggles. No, this is but I know you're extremely ticklish.
Wait, where? Oh, why did I change my weapon? Hold on.
I don't know. Bard just has a very, again, For people who don't know, I just feel Bard has a very delightful laugh, and that's why I tickle him a lot. It's gone to the point where my own mother has said to me, "You have to stop tickling Bard. He's gonna break up with you at this point because you harass him too much. You have to be nicer to Bard." Like, she's desperate for this relationship to work because she's like, "Please, you can't scare this one off."
It is quite hilarious. Like,
My mother defends Bard like no tomorrow. More than she defends me, her own daughter. And this isn't a normal thing. My mom is pretty neutral with like most of my relationships. It's just Bard. Bard is her favorite. Her favorite son-in-law.
the favorite.
Except this is her only son-in-law so far, but it still stands. So it's gone to the point where my mom and Bard would joke, and my mom would be like, "Hello, my favorite son-in-law," and Bard will reply with, "Hello, my favorite mother-in-law."
I mean, you have to reply in some way, right?
Oh God. What an unfortunate time to run out of food.
Mm-hmm. Ah. Oh.
I don't mind LGBT stuff. It works and builds story, like Morana and in the Castlevania show.
Hmm.
I actually haven't watched that far in the... Okay, so truth be told, I really enjoyed the first season of Castlevania.
Mm-hmm.
I have not watched or finished watching the second season.
I need to watch the second season and Bloodlines, actually, because I happen to be a huge fan of the Castlevania games themselves and stuff like that. And my favorite Castlevania is Dracula X. So I think for those who know, it
only makes sense for you to watch it, right?
Yeah. For those of you who know Dracula X, if your favorite is Dracula X, then you should definitely watch Bloodlines, right? Like,
and how they aged up everybody. Well, just one person.
Well, just one character,
because
but
it was really important they age her up.
It was kind of important a little bit.
You had to explain that to me. You're just like, yeah, that character, yeah, they had to age her up. Why? Oh, it would have been real problematic.
Yeah, it would have been real problematic, I think.
I believe the relationship didn't work for the story. Yeah, see, okay, when it comes to any relationships in a story, it doesn't really matter. I don't really care about, like, that stuff. I just think that it's really stupid for people to get upset that, like, oh, why are they this? Like, why do they have to make it their entire personality when it's not their entire personality most of the time? It's just, you're just upset that they are not straight half the time, or they're not like obsessed. Like if it's in the case of like, hey, we're playing like a game and like the characters aren't obsessing over, I guess, like if a particular character you really like is not obsessed with your character and you get personally offended by that, I always find that really weird, right? Like, why are you upset that a character may have personal tastes? Or why are you upset that this person may like another gender that you may not be part of, right? Like, it's at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter, right? Like,
it doesn't really matter, to be honest.
It's part of their character. It's part of their character. Does it have to make sense? No, but love never makes sense, honestly.
Oh,
the tail.
You got the tail.
Yeah. Like, did people expect me to fall in love with a capybara? No, but here we are.
Oh, here we are. Yeah.
Maybe
we're in a world where a bounty hunter and a capybara can be together.
Yeah, exactly. See? And so what if it makes me a friend?
Oh yeah,
that was the joke, the ongoing joke. That it makes me a furry. The 2-foot ginger is always fun to watch because mayhem. Like ultimately, like, what makes a good story is the character has dimensions, right? And whether or not it's like, whether or not it's related to their sexuality or not. It's like it's completely dependent on what kind of story you want to have, right?
Yeah.
Where is the fucking tail? Oh,
It's right next to his face. Yeah.
Oh my god. But yeah, like, you know, at the end of the day, like, good storytelling is good storytelling, right? And I don't like people just looking at, like, certain games and being like, oh, this game is woke because of blah, 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 blah. And it's just like, okay, but is the story good?
Yeah.
And what I don't like is, like, I think, like, it's really weird. Like, for example, like, trans characters in, like, certain stories, right? People really liked the trans character in Squid Games.
Oh, yeah.
Because they're like, wow, she didn't make it her entire story, but it kind of was her entire story. The entire point of her trying to win the money was so she could get gender-affirming care.
Yeah. It you know, like... It's just tough, right?
It's like they pick and choose, I feel. Like, that's why I guess I feel, right?
Yeah.
It's just like, yes, this complex character it's more than just like, oh, their trans identity. Right? You know, like, I don't like how people like to water down their arguments where just like, we had to write characters who are like this and that, and it's just like, no, like, a lot of people can be this and that in addition to being like part of like, you know, a community. You hear that, Munii? I don't like the whole complaint about being woke, whatever that means. Yeah, like, the thing is that, like, it's less that things are woke and more like people are just human, right? And I feel like any good story, like, you know, makes people just human, you know what I mean? But as soon as it doesn't meet, like, I guess, what is deemed as, standard, like, boring, like, I don't know, like, how to think. Like, as soon as you have, like, for some people, as soon as they have to, like, think about something that's outside their belief system, it's suddenly deemed as wrong for some people, and that's not...
Yeah.
That's not what makes a good story, right? A good story is like, yes, this character may have these qualities, but their driving force is this, right? Or, like, hey, this story may have, like, a female lead as the hero, and the guys, maybe there's just supporting characters. I want more than just, these male characters are just there for to be her love interest. You know what I mean? There needs to be a little bit more substance. Now, I 100% understand the whole idea of, like, some things being, like, too preachy, right? Like, they're just this for the sake of being, to do a check mark, and that's the whole complaint about the whole DI thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's like, you know, if you don't like something, you don't have to play it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you know, like...
Or you don't have to watch it.
I honestly, like my opinion on the whole thing, right, is I feel like something being proclaimed to be woke or something like that, right? I feel like it almost has lost all meaning at this point.
It has lost all meaning to
yeah,
me.
like, I don't think it actually means what people think it means, and yeah, so
it's
you know,
just their
that's
reason
why.
for I don't like this. Why? Because it makes me mildly uncomfortable. That's what it really is, in my opinion. It's mildly uncomfortable that Alma and Gemma aren't obsessed with me. Why? Because Gemma is more interested in making weapons, and she's not. I also hate the idea that, like, some people get mad at, like, characters for not being attractive to them. Like, it's a crime. But they're like, it's like, oh, it's because, like, when I'm in a video game, I want to be in a fantasy.
Yeah.
You know, you're not gonna be attracted to everything in a game, right? And attractiveness is also objective, right? Like, like what you find attractive and what I find attractive in a woman is very different, right? For example, I like problematic queens who don't need to be fixed because they're beautiful the way they are. And you like thick thighs.
Yeah, yeah. That's it. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. You boiled it down to its pure essence.
So what if the character doesn't have the biggest thighs that could like put you in a chokehold until next Sunday? Oh no.
Wow.
It's okay, right? Like that was the whole argument people had for like Stellar Blade versus what game was it that they were arguing about?
Oh, wait, what game was it? Yeah, because it was like Stellar Blade, and then they were like, oh,
like Stellar Blade versus like it was a Ubisoft game. Granted, Ubisoft is not in the or
Was
was it
it?
EA
Was it?
game? Granted, Ubisoft is kind of in hot shit right now.
oh yeah, for sure, right?
But like, it was It was kind of like a space bounty hunter game. Haha.
Oh yeah.
I'm not sure if it was a
that
bounty hunter
shooter
game. It
game.
looked, right? It looked like a bounty
Yeah,
hunter
yeah.
game, right? And it had
Yeah, it was like that shooter game.
Yeah, I don't remember the details. All I remember is that people were complaining that because she's a Blasian and she's not conventionally attracted because she doesn't have the big titties. Like Stellar Blade had, and she also doesn't have long hair. She has short hair, and she's dressed masculinity.
Masculinity.
Yeah, masculinity. That's the word I'm looking for. That's the proper English.
That's the proper English for it. Yeah.
She's very masculine looking, and people were upset about that. Or at least that's what I could get from the situation, and I'm just sitting there going like, what does it fucking matter? Maybe I find her hot because cause like we liked our Tom boys, and people who like to dress more masculine, you know? Maybe for other people. Maybe it's just simply made for other people. And like, but no, people were kind of were complaining and comparing like how Stellar Blade is like the peak of character design essentially. And I'm not saying it's not. And it's not that it's not made based on like an actual person's body shape, because like they based it off a Korean supermodel, right? But that's the thing. What it is, she's a Korean supermodel. Not everybody looks like a Korean supermodel either. There's a little bit of
oh, I missed that one.
No, you got it, yeah.
Oh, okay. There were some numbers there.
There's
okay.
a little bit of like, you know, like it's not an extremely achievable look. Not everybody can look like a model. Even if it is based on like her features, right? It's not entirely realistic for a lot of people. But even though people are like, it's based on a real body, you missed the point, buddy. But anyways, I'm kind of like, again, the whole idea of like, oh, it needs to look sexy to me. I don't care what other people think is kind of always been kind of really weird to me, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, I've always been of the opinion that, hey, like, I get it, right?
Yeah,
like,
you want to play.
You know, it's not like I don't play those
yeah.
types of games, right?
Well, you have
but at the
played
same
Stellar
time,
Blade.
well, yeah, I do actively play Stellar Blade, right? It's just that the thing is that even if one game does not have what you're looking for, does not mean that they stopped making the games that do have the thing you're looking for. That's the part that like is really weird to me. How everybody kind of pretends like they don't make the games anymore that have the jiggle physics and whatnot, right? Like they still do.
Yeah, it's not like they stopped existing just because like like one game doesn't have it. Like, why are you losing your shit? Depends on the person. I don't have one set standard because I know people have different personalities and characteristics. Yeah, and like that's what normal people think. You know, like you know, it's like beyond just, oh, she's just really hot to me, and therefore it's a good game. Like the thing about Stellar Blade is that it legitimately seems like it's a pretty good game. It's not the game for me, but I'm not gonna sit there and be all like, well, it's a terrible game because it doesn't appeal to my personal interest, you know?
Yeah, you know?
But the funny thing is about Stellar Blade is that people don't really show the gameplay more than they show the jiggle physics,
Yeah.
which is really a disservice to the game
To the game
itself.
itself, yeah. Like it's a legitimately good game, but you wouldn't know that based on the way people
Yeah,
talk about it.
because you're not focusing on like, oh hey, like look how like it's really cool that Eve does this, or like that technically in their definition would be considered a DEI game because she's a female heroine who's the main hero who doesn't rely on a man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like by their definition, this would be a DEI game. It's just that they don't view it that way because she's sexy. Or maybe they do. I don't know. I actually haven't read that
Maybe.
list. Yes, there's a list. Apparently. I find it weird that there's like somebody went out of their way to make a list on like what makes a DEI game and what doesn't.
Yeah, it's very strange. Like I don't know. It's like you're so focused on this one thing, and you're not focused on like just
Like,
enjoying the games that you do
if
like.
all the game has is it's like, oh, it's just not the type of story I enjoy, and it's fine to be like, hey, I want the story to have more context and more interest, right? And more like I want this person to be more than just this. That is perfectly fine. Like I think like,
Yeah.
that is a good criticism, right? Like I feel that like people should be like thinking more about how they craft their stories and want to develop the characters beyond more than just a singular idea and identity.
Oh, we got him.
What I don't agree with is the whole, they're not sexy, therefore DEI.
It makes sense for Eve to look like she did because she's a robot, meaning almost structurally perfect. Aside from being, like it goes with the storyline. Like it's a lot like Near Automata too,
Yeah,
right?
and,
Like
like,
that's one of the inspirations for that game.
I don't know why they also try to put like game developers against each other when a lot of game developers are actually very cordial with each other.
Yeah.
Like I think the director of like Shift Up went to the studio, the game studio that the people were complaining about, and was like, yeah, it's a fun game. And everyone was like, no, don't, or teach them how to make a good female character.
Yeah, it's very
like,
strange,
it's
you know.
like that's not his game company, that's not his goal. Like, and yeah, like I'm not gonna lie, guys. A lot of people don't realize Korea is hella sexist. It's a very anti-feminist country for a variety of reasons, right? And I'm speaking as someone who has lived there and knows the culture a bit more familiarly. But it doesn't stop them from enjoying the female form. But what they sell to their markets is going to be very different from like how maybe a Western game developer wants to make it, and maybe they find that game character and that person that they modeled their character to look after, because like they also mocapped that actress to play that character. And they're like, oh, this person's like really attractive, conventionally attractive. We're going to use her as the heroine, right? You know, and there's nothing wrong with that. I think people just like getting their panties in a knot over things that don't really matter.
we kind of live in a current society where being mad about something is like the thing, right? Like so everybody has to be mad at something, right? Like,
well, you kind of experienced it with one of your coworkers a little bit.
Yeah, so it is a thing, right? Like where for some reason people can't get through their day without being mad about something, and it's like really bizarre to me, but
Yeah.
it kind of I've kind of accepted it for what it is.
North Korea once kidnapped a South Korean director, so the ruler of North Korea at the time could have his own monster movie. Yeah, I heard about that. Like they kidnapped him and his wife, I believe.
Yeah, Pogasari, right?
Yeah. It wasn't. I don't think it was necessarily a monster movie, but it definitely was a movie.
There were a couple, but yes, there were a couple of movies, but largely there was a monster movie that was made, and it was
And it's also
it
all pro North Korea movies, I believe.
it was supposed to be, yes, but like the message of the movie was meant to be like more pro North Korea is great, but when you really look at the movie, the director kind of hid certain things that are like, oh,
Like
they,
SOS,
like
these are my coordinates.
yeah, and also, this type of regime is bad. Like like it's one of those things that
But
happen.
like that's how you can say for okay, there's like a song. Isn't there an American song? Like "Born in the USA." That song was all about how it's not how shitty it is to be American, right? But necessarily, well, maybe it is kind of like it's kind of like how the American government has failed the country, but people see it as a very patriotic song.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, like it's one of those things where like sometimes media literacy is lost.
It has long been lost for like I complain about it constantly to Mooney in private, but yeah, it is not a thing that happens.
Yeah.
Spider.
Well, it's also like when people like not liking like certain content, like the Barbie movie. People hate it because they feel like it's pushing feminism, when in reality it's like talking about how the patriarchy hurts both men and women. But when the roles are reversed, and they're like, "Oh, so you like it that like men were like servants to Barbie?" Is like, no, that's the exact opposite of what.
Yeah.
It's just showing it in the context of what it's like you know the Kens were very upset that like their life was like their life was a certain way, and then they learned that hey, life is like not like maybe life isn't like great, that we're obsessing over like what the women are like in this kind of society, and maybe we should look for more rights. And then when they went too far, what happens, right? It's a dissection of like what happens with some sort of extreme ideology in a sense, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Also, it was just a fun movie to watch. I found it really
It
fun.
was, yeah. I watched it on a flight.
I fell asleep because I watched it before with one
Yeah,
of my
yeah.
friends. I thought it was a fun time. You didn't do Oppenheimer at the same time, did you?
I have not seen Oppenheimer yet. We should probably watch that.
No, it's not really my cup of tea personally.
Oh.
It's about the atomic bomb, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I actually know a heck of a lot about that era because I had a friend that was very into.
It's kind of funny.
like-
You're like your friendships with certain people has led you to be actually strangely knowledgeable about history in a weird
Yeah.
sense. And like, so sometimes when we watch certain things, you're like, when about certain politics, we'll just say, you're like, doesn't anybody remember history? And you're like, apparently not.
Weirdos these days love to hate anything that doesn't fit into their self-loathing. There's like people complaining about Alita from Alita, Angel, a female character being portrayed. Yeah, yeah. It's like, it's very strange. Like, and again, like, it's like I feel like it's strange, but like I don't question it from certain people because it's sort of like, hey, if that's how you want to live your life, that's cool. I'm cool with it. Just it's also very strange to me because it's like you're unnecessarily adding so much like grief to your own life by just being angry about things all the time.
There's some things where it's just like this is a good criticism on certain things, right? For example, like Scarlett Johansson playing as what was it, Sergeant Kisaragi?
Oh, the major, as they call her, the major.
Kisaragi, sorry.
Yeah.
Because yes, she's technically a robot. Yes, we agree. She can be android.
Okay. So what it is with the Ghost in the Shell is that in the storyline, right?
Yeah.
Makoto Kisaragi, right?
Yeah.
Her original body is no longer like her original body. She's had so many mods to it that technically
She
what
can
you
look like
see.
anything they want, right?
Yeah, so technically in the story, like even the way that she presents herself in the story as it currently is, right? Like that's not what she used to look like.
Yeah,
Like basically,
yeah.
she's done so many modifications that.
Kusanagi, sorry, Makoto.
Yeah.
Kusanagi. Oh, their
Mhm.
partners here.
Uh oh. So it's like there is a case to be made about that one where it's like it's not as bad, but at the same time it's like
awkward because of the context was about Japanese identity.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the only reason why it's kind of awkward to have
Mhm.
someone who's. Yes, we understand that like she could look at like anything, but the problem is that the theming of the story was like what it means to be Japanese, I guess, and it kind of feels like a missed opportunity by being like, oh, let's just have Scarlett Johansson on the title.
Well, she is the
Again, media literacy a little bit. But as you were saying, yeah, she was the hotness back then.
Yeah,
Not so much
it's like,
right now.
Not so much right now, but yeah. Oh my god, just fighting the two of them at the same time is always a pain.
Or are they fighting separately? I'm confused.
This game is very confusing with the way that it approaches
Now,
certain
are we in
things.
the middle of like a relationship fight?
Probably. Okay, Rathian left. Ow! I just got fireballed by
me too.
Rathalos.
I
So
think
we're-
he's just angry because we got in the middle of their fight.
Yeah. So I think we're going after Rathian, right? Like,
Well, do we want to fight the green one first?
it did run away first,
Okay,
so
okay,
maybe we
we'll do
should.
that. Okay.
Yeah,
I never
because
got
it's
close
like,
to the show live action. I didn't feel obligated to. Yeah.
yeah, me neither. I didn't see it,
I've made it a personal rule, and this is the reason why I also haven't watched Doctor Strange, to avoid movies that have replaced certain. Well, not replaced. We'll just say have like, and the word is whitewash certain characters for.
Yeah.
Because in favor of popular actors, we'll just say, right? It's not necessarily because like they're the best actor. It's just that they really wanted this particular actor to play the role, and they're probably an amazing actor. Like I'm not like against that particular actor in particular. It's just it feels awkward to take a role away from an already underserved group.
Yeah,
Anyways,
and
a bit of a pain. Yeah. I don't watch movies anymore. Hi, Sal. How are you?
Hello, Sal. And I'm not the type of person that's like, I've seen it before, right? Like, because I happen to like it, right? I need Munii to watch it with me, and I can't live without her watching this movie, right?
Yeah.
Like I would never force Munii to watch something with me because of the things that she believes in and stuff like that, right? So it's like it's one of those things where it's like I don't need her to actually watch Doctor Strange with me just because of that.
Even though you really enjoyed it, is your favorite one of them all.
Yeah, it's surprisingly it was the favorite one of all of the Marvel movies that I've seen, but like I understand your perspective from that that point of view, right? Because it is kind of a problem, right?
Yeah.
Like so it's like it's one of those things where I was like I would never just like be like, okay, you have to like it's not a big deal, you should just watch it just because, right? Like
I'm good. I finished Monster Hunter now. How you finished the main story?
Ooh.
Or you finished Monster Hunter for the day?
Yeah,
you can never be finished.
You'll never be finished. I mean, Monster Hunter is that kind of game where you're just kind of never finished with it, really.
Yeah. Though I will say Tokyo Ghoul live action movie is pretty good. I mean, like everything contextually can be good and bad, right? It's like the thing is that Japan is not a stranger to live action. I'm not saying that any series cannot be a live action. It really depends on the author, or the creator, if like that's what they envisioned for their story. I always feel like for me personally, I just like it. I would prefer that if whoever story they adapt is like stays kind of true to what the writer envisioned, I guess you could say. Like, as close as you possibly can.
Yeah.
Of course, like there's some things you have to like change because like maybe you don't have the right technology for certain things, right? But it's like, you know, I like things that are made with care a lot of the time, and you can tell when things are made with care, when things are made for the sake of making it, so to speak. Like, do you think that, like, you can say that even for Star Wars, right? When that was being made, was it technically an adaptation first, or was it? How did Star Wars work, honey? Oh, it's late.
So the first Star Wars is
time to kill the husband.
They say here.
Hunter
We just got
60 now, definitely hunting the tempered mons for now. Sorry, you were saying about Star Wars?
Oh no, I was just gonna say, like, it wasn't an adaptation of existing media, but it was inspired by Japanese films.
So maybe that's a bad example. How about Lord of the Rings?
Lord of the Rings.
Did that take a while for it to get adapted?
That definitely took a while before it got adapted because the original novels was from the 30s, I believe.
Really?
I forgot. Tolkien had written those like
that was that long
ago.
ago. I did not realize.
I think it was the 30s or the 40s. It was.
Someone correct us. You movie buffs.
Those of you who know more about Tolkien and Lord of the Rings, correct me.
I still love how in South Park they've renamed Token as
Oh yeah.
Token. And they purposely like changed all the subtitles to being Token. Token like with the eye.
Well, I prefer the animated Doctor Strange movie. Dormammu's design was cool in that movie. It was actually. But what if the creator wanted the live action version to be different and managed different from the live action, for example, the live action Attack on Titan. Okay, I'm gonna say something, I guess.
Controversial? Is it controversial?
It's not controversial. I think a lot of people agree with this. I did not like the live action Attack on Titan movies. I immediately have not seen all of Attack on Titan yet, right? I did enjoy the first season for what it was, but when I saw the live action movie, I was just like, damn, this sucks. I really did not like the live action Attack on Titan movie.
That dragon is fucking up the spider.
Oh yeah. Like, there was just something really off about the way that they made the movies, and then like there was a certain amount of hand wringing from the
look, not all live actions do well, and some live actions are perfect, like the Sailor Moon live action.
Perfection.
Did you watch the Sailor Moon live action? That was episodic, by the way, guys. It was very similar. I did not. It's very similar to, but you might find this insulting. What's it called? Like tokusatsus? They're very similar to tokusatsus, but not really.
I did hear about the fact that it was very similar, and you know what? It makes sense. It makes sense. Like, the way that they would make a live action Sailor Moon would be probably very similar to a lot of tokusatsu shows. Yeah. Wathlos.
Say that again. The way you said that was funny.
Wait.
That was funny. Who?
Say what again? Tokusatsu?
Tokusatsu.
Tokusatsu.
Tokusatsu. In what country?
You're the best tokusatsu I've ever seen. I love you.
I don't think Country Shame was that rare for that when we were talking about it.
Country Shame wasn't there.
Oh shit.
I love you.
Oh shit.
Wow,
I'm somehow rolling away and getting away with it. Bart say, dang, this sucks.
Oh yeah. Yo, that live action Attack on Titan movie, besides the fact that it was like, okay, like, as I recall it, the director of the movie was very adamant about the fact that they could do the movie with practical effects. And I have nothing against practical effects, by the way. I do think that practical effects are really fun. As somebody who watched a lot of tokusatsu shows and Godzilla for the longest time, practical effects are really cool, right? But
If done right.
I think. Yeah, if done right, exactly. And I think they bit off a little bit more than they could chew with that movie. Besides the fascist tone of the movie.
Okay, so the thing is with Attack on Titan, what people don't realize is that it's very nationalistic, and and the mangaka themselves is very nationalistic. Which is hilarious considering how many Korean students I had that fucking loved Attack on Titan. And I was just like, that is the most awkward thing I've ever heard. Granted, they're middle schoolers, so I mean, like, they're not.
Sadly, I haven't seen any Sailor Moon anything. Oh,
I watched the live action on YouTube back in the day with the story like style.
I mean, it's understandable when you know, like people. Oh
Stop
shit!
following me, you bitch!
Because, like, you know, like a lot of times, you know, like when you think about it, like younger kids watch a lot of shows and movies without thinking too deeply about it, and they enjoy it, right? And there's nothing bad about that, by the way. I think it's fine to enjoy stuff without having to think too deeply about things. But that's generally how most younger kids will consume media, right? You know.
And like the live action Sailor Moon, it is loosely based off of the manga. It's not a one-to-one creation, by the way, for anybody that's kind of curious. And the story of Sailor Moon, it's just very interesting kind of like origins, because originally that's not the story she wanted to make. It's actually a redo.
I kind of knew about that,
like,
but I didn't know exactly.
So I'm not sure of the original like complete story. All you need to know, for some people, I think the loose story is that the original story of Sailor Moon is that she originally wanted to write a story about the Sailor Scout, about a different character who is part of the Sailor Scouts, but she's been demoted basically. And that was Sailor Venus. She originally was writing a story on Sailor Venus, and like how she was kind of like that obvious, like, you know, the champion of justice, essentially, right? But I guess it wasn't going well, or wasn't very well received. So I believe what ended up happening was, or it's either that or like the mangaka she just didn't see the vision, right, with it, with her as the main character. So it's kind of similar to like how you were explaining the whole like Dragon Ball Z issue with like Gohan just not being a good main character. Maybe it could have easily been something similar like that. But anyway, she restarted because Sailor Moon came after Sailor V, which is why I suspected she did a restart. You know what I mean? Yeah. For people that are kind of like wondering, because there's Sailor V, and why she's so special, it's because she technically was the original. And then she redid it, did Sailor Moon instead of focused on Sailor Moon instead of Sailor Venus, and then made Sailor Venus come in later, and tying in the worlds in a sense, and then kind of went for that. Now, I may be completely wrong, and if we have any like Sailor Moon buffs, they could probably properly correct me. But that's what I believe what happened, based on observation. Really, not really so much based on stuff. Gotta prep for lectures now. Good luck with the hunt. No worries. So thank you for dropping by. We appreciate it. The problem is those animated shows and animated channels were never consistent, so I never got to see Sailor Moon. I watched Sailor Moon as a kid, but it was not my, as I like to say, my magical girl series of choice.
Okay. I will fully admit that I did watch Sailor Moon.
Yeah, that's not a big deal, honey. A lot of men
That's
watch
not a
it.
big deal, right?
A lot of men watched Sailor Moon growing up.
Okay. What it was they had it on so early in the morning
And you had to go
before
to church.
school.
No.
And it was like, yeah. No, but it was like before school, you only had a very limited choice of what to to watch on TV, and that happened to be
They
on,
died
so
in the
it was
same
like,
place as each other, not too far.
oh,
So romantic.
together forever. I know nowadays it's not a big deal for me to say that, oh, I watched it, right? But like back in the day, it was like,
That's
oh,
embarrassing.
you probably shouldn't say that, right? Like, you know.
Are you gay?
Oh my god.
We can seal the
Oh.
egg now.
We don't need the egg. No, I don't want to deliver it to the tent. I don't need the egg. There we go.
But yeah, like, I couldn't watch all the shows when I was growing up either, to be
Mhm.
honest. Like, because America had all the shows and Canada had leftovers, so to speak.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, we couldn't watch all the shows. Like, some of them we did get licensed in Canada, but a
Yeah,
lot
yeah.
of them were, I think, like for example, like a couple of them were not. And it could be for
Mm-mm.
various reasons, like they just weren't approved to be shown in Canada.
Yeah.
It could be like,
Mhm.
it could be because of what was it called? It could be because for it could be for a variety of reasons, right?
Yeah.
For whatever reasons it was, I watched whatever I could watch back then,
Yeah.
and for all intents and purposes, I was one of those kids that really did prefer at the time, subs over dubs. I was part of that camp for a very long time, but have,
Oh, yeah.
especially since growing up and kind of like, you know, wanting to be a voice actress myself, really like understanding the industry.
Mhm.
I've grown to understand why there is a necessity for subs even back then. What I don't like is the changing of story when it's not necessary.
Yeah. Mhm.
Because, you know, sub localization choices back then didn't really make sense when you could have just been like, hey, but like, you know, I also understand that like if you go into like something like Pokemon, I'm pretty sure not a lot of kids would understand what a rice ball is.
Look,
Like-
they were clearly eating pizza, okay?
No,
okay.
it's jelly donuts, honey.
Jelly donut. Oh yeah, that's what it was,
That
right?
was the meme. Jelly donuts.
Jelly donuts.
And then until they could like change it to sandwiches,
Mhm.
which worked out perfectly for Scarlet and Violet because it's all about fucking sandwiches.
Yeah, I mean, I was also very much arguably I still am in that camp, right?
Yeah,
like in terms of the
we do try to I think both of us like to enjoy things like in their I try to do the conscious choice of not necessarily defaulting to Japanese dubs, even though this is Japanese right now, but I try to do the whole what is the original dub or the original voice acting intentions in whatever game.
yeah. Mhm.
That's how I approach it. If the game was originally Japanese and the intention was to play it in Japanese, like originally, then I'm going to play it in Japanese with English subs if it's available.
Yeah.
right? Now, if the game was meant with English, I actually will play it in English, right? Obviously.
Yeah.
And
Well, it's for that reason-
It's same for
yeah.
Chinese, same for French and Spanish. I did experience one game where like voice acting in French or like in French and Spanish were like fantastic actually, and it made me just more passionate in trying to listen in the original dub just to kind of like see the differences.
Yeah, and it's for that reason that like even with something like Final Fantasy 16, I was playing the game dubbed in English because they did a lot of the motion capture acting in with the
Yeah, with
English,
English, right?
version. Yeah.
I think
So
that-
it's like
wasn't
it just kind of made
also
sense.
The same for a different game though. Like they did it for was it 14?
No, it was for 16.
Was it only for
That they
16?
did that.
No, I mean 15. Was it 15?
15, was it for
No,
15?
okay, no, like one of the movies was like they
Oh.
animated the voice acting with the English dub for some reason.
Yeah, what was it called?
The movie, right? That you had to,
yeah, the movie
technically
that
you had
almost,
to play before 15.
yeah,
Because
yeah.
it had all the backstory in between the first and the second chapter, right? Like that was what happened.
like the King's whatever
Yeah.
it was. Yeah.
Or else you would be confused, right?
Yeah. I never watched that movie, so I was very confused
I
with
watched
15.
part of it. I was still very confused, but like that movie was originally supposed to be consumed, or was animated according to the English dub.
Let's see, sub or dub. I'm okay with both. I have no preference. Either depends on my mood. Like Aegon, the Atomic Dragon, is in Japanese, English subtitle, or playing the game Eternal Sonata. Oh yeah, I've always wanted to play and finish Eternal Sonata. I actually have a copy of it, but I don't know where my PlayStation 3 is. But I've always wanted to play that game. For sure. Like,
I will say this though, English English dub rather has gotten significantly better over the years. In terms of writing and in terms of acting, because people are a little bit a lot more passionate people are working on it, as opposed to back when we were still growing up, where they're kind of like, we just need shows and we need them out now.
Yeah.
Because that's what I feel, that's what it really was. Or like, hey, we'll take this animation, but let's make it Americanized.
Yeah, I think for me, back then, a lot of things that unnecessarily got changed, right? That was what got me, because like, for example, and we were talking about this yesterday too, right? Like, a lot of people watched Dragon Ball Z in the early 2000s, or roughly, right?
Late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah, the late 90s, early 2000s, and they experienced the Ocean dub and the Funimation version of the series, which changed a lot of things, right? Including the music and all, and you know, like certain parts of the story through the dialogue, right? And it was a very different experience for me, because I grew up watching Dragon Ball, but I grew up with the dubbed version of it in Chinese, right? And in those versions, they didn't actually change all that much, aside from
it's easier to translate between those two.
Yeah, it was much easier to translate between those two, and the delay time was very small, so we saw a lot of the episodes like only a couple of months after they aired in Japan, right?
Yeah.
And because of that, you still got a sense for the story and the original presentation of it, right? So like, when I watched the Western version of it, right, it changed so much that I was like, wow, this is kind of like watching something different, and I don't think I like it. But it's probably because...
But meanwhile, for me, when I having no context for this show, was like, this is just a funny show.
Yeah. The Gremlins stole it, did they?
Oh, Goku, you're here for justice.
Oh yeah, Justice Hero Goku.
And like, when in reality it was, what was it, honey?
So a lot of people have like a lot of issues with the version of Goku they see in Dragon Ball Super, or the version of Goku they see in Dragon Ball Daima, right? And it's because they never watched the original, where he wasn't quite this hero of justice type character.
He's not
right?
like Sailor Moon?
No, he was not. He was not at all. He was just somebody who really liked to fight people, and he made stupid decisions based on that. Like, the reason that a lot of people find his characterization very inconsistent, right, is throughout Dragon Ball, he always made decisions based on believing in redeeming people because they can be good, because they happen to be good at fighting. Anybody that's really good at fighting, he believed that they could be so good that no matter how evil they were, they could be redeemed. So he made a lot of stupid decisions. based on that, right? But that goes counter to the portrayal of Goku in a lot of the English dubs, right? Where he's like this paragon of virtue, right? And truth and justice, like he's freaking Superman. So he never makes stupid decisions like that, right? Like letting the clearly evil bad guy live that you should probably not, but hey, like so like when Dragon Ball Super first came out, there was that very
They went more
huge
close. They
disconnect.
went closer to the original as opposed to
Yeah,
to what was dubbed back then.
yeah, and a lot of that has to do with the fact that a lot of the West only really saw Dragon Ball Z. They never actually watched the original Dragon Ball, which ended with spoilers for a freaking 30-year-old cartoon, but the original Dragon Ball ended with Goku being offered the title of Kami on Earth, right? Like he was supposed to be the guardian of the Earth because he proved that he was the strongest man on Earth, right? And he said, "Nah, I'm good because I don't want to do that shit." And he freaking left, and he left to go get married. And it was like one of those things where he was like, it was showing the childish side of Goku, where he kind of like doesn't care about that stuff. He only cares about fighting people who are stronger than himself and stuff like that.
His childish like wonder.
Yeah, and like that was kind of lost in the Western dub. So it's like we were talking about this last night actually, like me and Munii and stuff like that, and it was like it was so lost that a lot of people didn't like Dragon Ball Super because it seemed like they were watching a cartoon about a different character than what they thought was the main character of Dragon Ball. So
I always pictured Goku more as the guy who likes to fight and just happens to end up fighting bad guys instead of hero that actively seeks bad guys to fight.
Yeah, he was pure-hearted to a fault, right? Like
So pure-hearted,
in terms of
he
his
never
character.
kissed his wife.
Yeah. Well, that's not actually true. He does in fact kiss Chi-Chi in the original Dragon Ball.
But
Again,
why did they
never
act like he
seen.
never it's weird like it's weird for him to kiss his wife? Why was that the thing?
I have no idea. To be honest, Akira Toriyama was infamous for kind of coming up with shit as he went. He never had a master plan for any of his stories, so he just kind of came up with it as it came. And if it meant that the scene would be funny, he did it. Like it didn't matter to him that it was inconsistent with other portrayals or other things that he wrote. Like as long as it served the story at the moment and it was funny, that's what he went with.
He was a man
so
of comedy, is what you're saying.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That was his main goal. And you're kind of right, Country Shape. Like he generally was a character that knew right from wrong, and he did the right thing because he was a good guy at the end of the day, right? But it's not as though that he was this guy that was like looking to be a superhero, like the way that Western media portrays superhero as always like looking to fight crime and things like that, right? Like
looking to fight crime.
He was
He was looking to avenge his parents.
Avenge his parents. The parrot he accidentally killed.
The parrot he carried. What he killed?
So one of the earliest stories in Dragon Ball was the fact that in the first chapter of the original Dragon Ball, you find out from
I meant Batman didn't mean to kill his parents. I was like, Batman killed his parents?
Oh no, Batman didn't kill his parents. Goku did though.
No, he was sent off into space.
Oh yeah, that's
right. And then
right.
he came back and he killed his dad. Right?
And he killed his grandpa, actually.
Oh, his grandpa, sorry.
By accident.
By accident?
Yeah, like...
So, long story short...
Long story short, he was always told that his grandpa, Gohan, who was his adopted grandfather, who found him when he came to Earth, right? Was always killed by... he was always told he was killed by a monster that came out during midnight. And stuff like that when the moon came out, and he always believed that there was a monster out there that kills people at night and stuff like that. Did not realizing that he was the one that turned into the monster that killed his grandpa. He does not find this out until Dragon Ball Z, when he fought Vegeta. But he did not know for many years that he actually was the one that killed his own father figure.
I thought you meant his. I thought you meant he killed his biological grandfather.
Oh no no no!
No, he
Like
killed- His biological
Yeah.
grandfather's fine. He's already dead by the time.
No, he's definitely way dead.
I was
Yeah,
confused for a while. I was just like, "What are you talking about?" And I'm like, "Oh, that grandpa."
yeah, that grandpa, yeah. He may not have kissed her, but definitely snoo. How else could Gohan have existed? Well, we're still trying to figure out how Goten exists, okay? Look, he only had a week, okay? Like, quite literally
he
only had a week.
Look, Super Saiyans have super sperm maybe.
Oh no, yeah. But it's really funny because when you really think about it, he literally only had a week between the time he came out of the time chamber and he fought Cell. So
He also had
this,
time to snooze.
yeah, so apparently
It doesn't take that long to sleep with your wife, honey.
I guess not, but Goku was
He's a quick. He's a quick shot.
yeah,
He made sure.
He made sure. I like how everybody that was playing what was it called, Dragon Ball, the Goku game, like everyone that played that. Yeah. Like everyone commented when Goten just suddenly shows up in the Buu saga, and it's like, wait, when did that happen?
Yeah, because there was that game that if for anybody that's not a fan of Hololive, Hololive is it's a VTuber company that oh shit I died.
Oh, what the hell? I did not know that could happen. Holy
so
crap.
It's a VTuber company that's very popular in Japan, and they also have an English branch. Anyways, the Japanese branch, a lot of them were playing the Dragon Ball game, which was covering essentially like the entire saga up until Super, I guess?
Yeah. It covered everything up until the end of Z and maybe the beginning of Super, because I think they did some DLC to cover like at least Battle of the Gods, right?
Yeah.
So
And
is Goku a bad dad? Because
he is definitely a bad dad. No, we have agreed. Like
We have
he
agreed
is a
with
terrible father.
even Akira Toriyama has agreed with this. If you've watched Dragon Ball Daima. There's actually a line in one of the episodes when Goku is talking to Pansy, and she's like, I can't believe you're actually an adult with kids. And she asks him about, like, how did you manage to raise a kid? And he goes, I wasn't actually really involved. He actually says it.
The spiders, they feed.
They feed. They need to come out when they got their chance.
You know who the best dad is? Piccolo. Piccolo's a pretty good dad.
Piccolo's the best dad.
Actually, Vegeta
yeah.
might be the better dad, ironically.
Ironically, right? Like, his characterization has changed so much over the course of that show.
You wouldn't think that Vegeta would be a good dad, but actually he's probably the best dad. Well, we don't know how he feels about Trunks, but he was definitely a girl dad.
Yeah, he was definitely a girl dad, yeah, for sure. With Trunks is kind of interesting because, like... Oh, he's doing the...
Wait, we can harvest from him.
Okay. Whoops.
Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe.
Yes, you can.
Let's harvest for him. He's... Oh, run! He's getting up.
Told you can harvest from them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I harvest 2 things from them.
I did too. But what makes him a bad father? Examples, please. When
he went to go fight stuff, technically, he was just like, "Here, Gohan, I'll give you to my enemies in a past fight."
So
What was it?
Okay.
You explain it better.
Okay. For those of you who fought who kind of like saw the Cell games, right, and that you kind of know this already because Piccolo had to freaking smack him with this, right? But okay, so Gohan's getting his ass whooped, like he's getting
well, first of all, he's
absolutely
hanging out
destroyed.
with Goku, right?
Yeah, like Goku quits the fight. And he lets Gohan fight Cell because he's like, hey, you want to fight the strongest guy? Well, I got the strongest guy right here. It's Gohan. And Cell's like just kind of like, oh my god, for real? For real? Is this really what's going on? Okay, if you say he's the strongest, I'm gonna fight him. But if I kill him, that's on you, dude.
That's
yeah, that's not my fault. You put him in there, right? And then Goku's like really self-assured about the fact that Gohan can do it, right? Like ultimately he's proven right, but still, it's like
No,
the dude
wait.
doesn't seem
no,
to
but
understand.
So wait, how? First of all, I have a question, right? Like,
Yeah.
So at the beginning of Dragon Ball, okay, after we are introduced to Gohan, right?
Yeah.
So how, like, does like Goku's just like, hey Chi-Chi, I'm just gonna take our son out for a walk over here, and then just doesn't return? Like, what? How does that happen?
That's kind of what happened. Oh my god. So at the beginning of Dragon Ball Z, he goes to visit his friends, and because like he's got Gohan, he's like 4 years old maybe. He goes to visit his friends, right? And he's like, he probably told Chi-Chi like, yo, I'm just gonna go visit my friends, but I'm gonna take Gohan
I'm
out
gonna take
for
this
like
cute little kid with me.
Yeah, to meet all my best friends and stuff like that, right? And then freaking like during this visit, for some reason, his actual biological brother that he never knew shows up and is like, yo, dude, I'm your brother. By the way, did you take over this world yet? Not yet? Okay, I'm gonna take over this world right now, but I'm gonna also kidnap your son, okay?
Because you need to
with
teach him right.
Yeah, you didn't do it right, so maybe your son can do it right. Because, like...
He may be half human, but he has the tail.
Yeah, he's got the tail. He might not be as big a failure as you are. So let me go. So he's already kind of failed.
So can you imagine your uncle is like just straight up like, yeah, your dad did a terrible job, so I'm gonna train you now.
Yeah. So okay, that's not necessarily what makes him a terrible
dad.
Yeah, that part is not necessarily the part that makes him a bad dad, but what really makes him a bad dad is that particular Cell Games moment, because it's like he's forcing his son to fight this super powerful villain, right?
So it's towards the end, but isn't this after he dies though?
No, this is before.
Oh, so what the fuck? So wait, what?
So he
after the brother fiasco.
So yeah. So like he's okay. So like he's fighting Cell, right?
Yeah.
And he's only fighting Cell because he's like, I know I don't have a shot at beating this guy, right?
Right now.
But I'm gonna right now. But I'm gonna fight this guy and let Gohan see all his moves, and maybe that'll help him, right?
That'll help him be
like,
a good fighter, because
yeah,
know what?
This will help him be a good fighter.
Like what my brother said about me being a bad dad and teaching him not how to fight, it really bugs me for some reason.
And he's like, I'm doing this for you, son. This is gonna help you so much.
That's really what happened?
Yeah. Meanwhile, Gohan's just watching this whole thing and is like,
he's 4 years old still, by the way.
No. This is like when he was like at least 10 or 12.
Okay, so
right?
he aged up a bit.
Yeah, he's aged up at this point quite a bit. Like this is years later after he was introduced into the show. After the brother fiasco.
Wait,
after
so when did he go? Did he ever go back to see? Like, because I remember that like Goku just leaves with his son, and then Chi-Chi doesn't see her son for like how long?
For a long time, because he leaves with Gohan. His brother Raditz shows up, right? They have the fight. Goku dies during that fight, by the way. And then Piccolo takes Gohan to trade.
That's what I asked.
Oh, okay,
asking, like, where was the father? Where was the father thing coming?
Yeah. So Piccolo takes Gohan to go train.
How did that happen? Did Piccolo just happen to pass by? He was like, "Damn, your dad's dead. I'm your new daddy now."
What happened was he was also helping Goku to fight Raditz. Now at the time, Piccolo was still kind of evil.
Technically,
he was still a bad guy.
Well, no, he was just following his dad's wishes.
Yeah. But the thing is, Raditz kind of like he kind of beat him up earlier, and,
Okay.
and Piccolo's like, "Nah, man, I gotta get rid of this guy
The
because he's
enemy of
gonna
my
get
enemy
his."
is your enemy.
Yeah, because here's the thing: I want to take over the world too, but if you're still around, then like I can't do that. So I gotta team up with my mortal enemy and to go save his
I
son
have
and
to
possibly
team up
kill.
with my father's murderer.
Yeah, I gotta team up with my father's murderer to. Well, okay, there's he's technically not.
He's a
Oh my
clone?
god, I'm getting way too into this. Holy shit.
Hi, Tiger.
so-
How y'all been? We're good. We're just talking about
Dragon Ball for some reason.
and how Goku's a terrible father.
So Piccolo is technically. Oh my god, how do I explain this? Holy shit. So Piccolo is technically not the son of Piccolo. He's the.
Piccolo's not the son of Piccolo.
Like, this is so hard to
sentence you're
explain.
going to say to someone. He's not technically the son of Piccolo.
Yeah,
Piccolo
he's
is
not
Piccolo.
so Demon King Piccolo, right, dies, and then he shoots out an egg, and a lot of people called, like, they refer to the Piccolo that comes out of the egg as like Junior sometimes, right? And they assume that that's his son, but a lot of the manga and the lines in the anime actually point to him being the reincarnation of the Demon King Piccolo, not the son of Piccolo. So that's why they have the same name.
It's like Mini-Me, and Austin Powers.
Yeah, it's like, oh my god, I'm nerding out too much about this right now. But
Okay, let's see. Piccolo's more of a clone of the Demon King Piccolo. Can
Yeah,
you really be a
correct.
clone? It's more like asexual reproduction. We all learned that. Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah. I guess so, right? But yeah, it's like, like between Goku, like okay, so Piccolo is like training Gohan for at least a year
Because
now
he's
at
just
this
like,
point.
well, this little child.
Yeah, well, because Piccolo saw Gohan like give his uncle the freaking
The
headbutt
1-2?
of the century. Yeah, like he gave him the 1-2, like the super strong 1-2. He basically almost kills Raditz on his own,
because
and he's
of the
like
headbutt?
because of a headbutt, and he's like a child, and so Piccolo's like, okay, I'm gonna train this kid because he's probably gonna win us this fight. He does not win this fight, but whatever, like it was a good idea at the time, right? And then like.
People are just using Gohan like a freaking like war.
Yeah, like
War.
everybody's trying to force this poor kid to fight their battles.
I can see why he doesn't exactly want to fight anymore
Yeah.
when he's a teenager.
Okay, Gohan is a nerdy kid. He just wants to read books, like literal books, like
But
philosophy
didn't
and
he have
shit.
like trouble like going to school? He didn't want to go to school though.
No, he does want to go to school,
Oh.
but he has trouble getting accepted into school because his dad's an idiot.
What?
like there is actually like a movie where Goku goes with Chi-Chi to an interview to get Gohan into a prestigious school, and Goku is like so over this shit. He doesn't even want to be there, and Chi-Chi is like getting pissed like the entire time because she's like, oh my god, don't ruin this for me. Goku is like a horrible dad, like in every single way. It's not even like a
So he ruined his son's
future.
future potentially.
Yeah, potentially
was
ruins his
boring
son's
as
future.
fuck.
And the irony of all this, like his son gets his life together basically after he dies. Which is horrible to say, but it's kind of what happens, right? That she was the beginning of the legendary Super Saiyan. That was it. The movie. Yeah. The first movie that Broly shows up in. I know it's not canon, but it's still very like accurate to the portrayal of Goku in a lot of Dragon Ball stuff. It's so true to his portrayal that it's like it serves as an example. Let's see. Hold on. Sorry, I'm checking chat through my phone instead of because I can't see anything. Yeah, we're going over DBZ lore for some reason. It just ended up happening. It's fun for me to talk about because I grew up watching Dragon Ball. Where Munii did not necessarily grow up with it, but you've seen some of it,
I
right?
did grow up with it in a weird, and I grew up
In
with
a weird way,
with the
yeah.
American version, which is not what the version you grew up with, and
Yeah.
I just loosely enjoyed it, not really like as obsessively as I feel that a lot of Americans are now.
Oh yeah, yeah,
It's
for
had
sure,
a huge
right?
resurgence recently, I feel.
Yeah, yeah. Between Dragon Ball Daima and Dragon Ball Super, plus all the movies that came out recently, it has had a huge resurgence.
I feel the same way about One Piece. Like, One Piece also had a huge uptick in popularity. It's always been
Yeah.
popular, but it's like kind of been more like downplayed, right? You know what I mean?
I think a lot of people were waiting for, okay, now granted, I'm not a One Piece buff. I don't know anything about One Piece
Oh yeah, a
beyond
lot of
the
people
first
think
season.
that we do. That's a funny
Yeah.
thing. A lot of people think
Clearly.
that we're One Piece fans. We actually don't know shit about One Piece.
Yeah,
That's actually
uh-huh.
one of my siblings. My sibling is actually, like, I had to take Bart to go to the One Piece store while we were in Japan because I had to pick up some stuff. And my sibling likes you watched me buy stuff for them.
Yeah.
They specifically love Sanji and Zoro, and I always have to
Yeah.
buy it in pairs, Sanji and Zoro merch, because that's just what they enjoy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, I was hyper focused
Juice,
for like
what's
the
up?
last 4 hours. I didn't even notice you went live. No worries, no worries. We were just talking about very important things like Dragon Ball Z
Yeah, Dragon Ball Z
and
is one
how
of the
Goku's
most.
a horrible father. But like
Yeah.
I think like that's the one thing in all of anime that we can all consistently agree with, that Goku is arguably the worst father in anime.
He
Actually, no,
arguably is.
He's
Yeah.
one of the worst. He's not the worst, I guess. Like that. It depends on how you look at it. Would you say that what's his name? Something Tucker.
Wait.
And Full Metal Alchemist.
Oh, Full Metal Alchemist.
What's
Yeah.
his name? Something Tucker. Mr.
Arguably. I
Arguably,
guess?
he's kind of the worst dad ever, since he was really he's like the worst kind of furry dad you can ever have, I guess.
I mean, you know,
But he was doing it for science, so I mean,
he was.
I think that if we had a kind of like a debate among like who is the worst dad in the protagonist section, right? I think Goku would be up there in terms of worst
It would
dad.
be pretty up there. His heart's in the right place, but he's never thinking about like how this all affects everyone and stuff like that. I mean, like, okay, so after you know, like after all this stuff with fighting, with Piccolo training his kid for a year, and
Against
so you
his
think
will,
it would
arguably.
be arguably, you think you know, like this would be over, like you'd return the kid to home and that's it. Well, Goku allows his son to go with his best friend on a spaceship to go to outer space to
Now
retrieve some
there's a
Dragon
time
Ball.
skip. That's a time
Yeah,
skip.
yeah. That's a little bit after this whole I'm
The,
training your son to be like the savior
And then
of
Chi-Chi
Earth.
finally gets her son back briefly.
Yeah,
Only for him
briefly.
to go on a spaceship to go save her, to save his
Yeah.
dad.
Not knowing that, you know, going to that planet means that his son is going to be face to face with a dude that's literally the most evil person in the universe.
At that time.
At the time, yeah. Oh, he's dead. Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. You kept shit. He's dead. Stop. Does Goku
No,
even
I
know what
think-
sex is? I mean, technically.
Technically, he should at this point, right?
I mean, he made 2.
I mean, yeah.
Mystery and I had for like maybe 2 days. I'm already at 11 hours. It took me almost a week to get 14 hours in Sunhaven. No, that's
Yeah,
fair.
he's a bad dad. That was because he wasn't more attentive to go. And it's not necessarily like, again, like with the example from the Cell Saga. You know, like he's forcing his son to fight this guy, and he doesn't realize the fact that his son, number one, doesn't like actually fighting people. he does not like fighting
He
people at all.
canonically does not
And-
like fighting.
Yeah, he canonically does not like fighting. He only does it because he has to, not because he wants to. And Goku actually gives Cell a Senzu Bean. So the Senzu
What?
Bean kind of... Yeah. Like, after fighting Cell for, like, however long Goku was fighting and then giving up, like, he's like, oh, you know what? Gohan can take care of this, but you know what? I want to make this fair, so here, Cell, have a freaking Senzu Bean.
Jesus
Because,
Christ.
you know... You're gonna need the help against my son, right? And he's acting like really self-assured. Meanwhile, like Gohan's like literally getting his ass beat so bad.
At 10 years
like
old.
this entire time at 10 years old.
No
and
wonder he
stuff like
hates
this.
fighting.
Yeah, and Piccolo eventually has to tell him like, dude, don't you realize that Gohan does not like to fight? He's like, he's not like the rest
Piccolo,
of us.
The best dad ever is just like,
Yeah, Piccolo is literally like, we're all fucking insane. We like punching each other in the face all day long. Gohan doesn't like doing that. And he had to convince Goku of this, by the way. And then Goku starts realizing, oh shit, yeah, Gohan's getting killed out there. And he's like, oh yeah, you know what? Do you have a Senzu Bean, Krillin? I need to get one so I can go back in there and stop my son from getting killed. And then, oh yeah, the Senzu Beans get stolen by Cell. So like, Goku's really bad. He's really bad. Like thinking without acting without thinking is the worst. Like is the least of
I
the
like
things.
how another man had to go to be like, hey, you know, like our joint son that like we,
Our joint son, right? Like,
you know, the one that I like partially helped raise.
mm-hmm,
Like I recognize he actually does not give two shits about fighting.
yeah. And it's crazy too because it's like after the Cell games, like, you know, Goku's no longer around and stuff like that, right?
Good riddance
And
at this point.
yeah, he has a second son with Chi-Chi,
In
but
a
he's
week,
not
in a week.
there. In a week, by the way. In the week of time that he had with Chi-Chi after coming back, he made a second son, and then
Chi-Chi
he's
thought that was a
immediately
great
gone.
idea, apparently.
Yeah, clearly a great idea, right? And it's like you know, like I think it's only in Dragon Ball Super do you see him kind of hanging out with Goten a little bit
But
in
everyone
the
forgets
beginning
about
of the show.
Goten, the forgotten second son.
Yeah, he's just kind of forgotten for the most part. But you know, like
Does he?
like
Wait, does
that-
Goten like fighting though?
Goten does not like fighting. Actually, it's revealed at the end of Dragon Ball Z. At the very end, when Goten is like a teenager, he's like about, I would say he's like 16 or 17 years old at that point, right?
He's also like, yeah, dad's crazy.
Yeah, Goten number one doesn't like fighting. Number two is a total ladies man. He's all about the girls, man. He's like,
you share DNA, but I have the dad set up.
mm-hmm.
Goku's just a donor at this point. Let me pass in Zubi to the Guardian.
Yeah, clearly, you know.
They made up for lost time, banged like rabbits. You know they did.
Yeah, you know.
Damn. Don't
Guardian Arkfeld needs a Senzu Bean because, you know, like, we need to make this fight fair, you know? It's not like the freaking Earth is in danger because, you know, Cell didn't just tell everybody, you know, if you don't win this tournament fight against me, I'm gonna blow up the Earth. No, that didn't happen like a week ago, right? Like, fucking, you know, let's treat this like it's a fun adventure. It's an awesome tournament, weekend tournament. Yeah, clearly, you know?
But does Trunks like fighting?
Trunks does not like fighting, actually.
Okay, so this is what happens when you have a half Saiyan and half human hybrid. They just don't like fighting anymore.
Well, the thing with Trunks, right, is that he always trained because his dad is freaking Vegeta, right? But
Yeah.
the thing about the version of
not
Trunks that you see,
but not Bra.
no, not Bra.
Bra never
Bra's
fought?
no, Bra's not a fighter. Nope. she never is. She's always. Oh whoa.
Oh, sorry,
Okay.
I just decided to end the quest.
Yeah, that's fine. What you're all farming for? I think we're just doing the
completing
event
quests.
quest, and then I guess we're gonna try to do Gore Magala.
We're just
Maybe?
completing some quests, some side quests.
Yeah, we're just doing some side quests. That's where we're up to, but I don't know if we're ready to take on Gormagala yet.
Well,
Cause
we need other people to help us, so to
mhm,
speak.
mhm.
Yeah. The war
But yeah,
tournament has so
Juice,
much,
Dragon Ball is a trip.
but it's getting late for Bard, so maybe this is where we're
Mhm.
gonna stop. But I hope everyone enjoyed all that Dragon Ball trivia.
Oh, the world tournament has so much stakes involved, and oh, the world is also at 16. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. Unfortunately I could talk about that shit for hours. It's
You
just-
did. You literally
I do.
did.
Yeah,
We just started talking about Dragon Ball and how Goku is a terrible father, and you just kept going.
you know, and here's the thing. I'm not like. It is the thing that I grew up with, right? So I love it, but I'm not like. It's also strangely not necessarily my favorite thing, but like
No, that's
I
Transformers.
Hmm?
That's Transformers.
yeah, that's Transformers. But it's like, it's something that I grew up with, and it's been a part of my life so much that, like I can't not be like, like anytime there's a new anime or a manga for Dragon Ball, I'm like immediately watching it and stuff, Also, all I know about Dragon Ball is the power up they do, and apparently they can make one fight last for like 20 episodes. Bulma has Vegeta in a chokehold. Yeah, Bulma does. But yeah, that had more to the 20 episodes for one fight thing had actually more to do with the fact that the animators had to stall for time because they needed the manga to catch up so that they can animate the storyline. That's actually what that was more about, which is why Frieza tells Goku, you have 5 minutes left before this planet explodes, and they fight for another 10 or 12 episodes. So yeah, it is kind of funny that shit always happens.
Okay, before we end off the stream, I do need to show you guys a video that is hilarious beyond all belief.
Oh, you found it?
Well, it wasn't hard to find considering
Mhm.
I was the one who linked it to a Discord.
Oh yeah, that's right, that's right.
Before I play this, I'm going to preface this, guys. We are not religious. And if you are, we are not making fun of you.
No.
We're not making fun of you. We just think that this is a funny video that I need to share, okay? That's just to preface this. The Christmas tale told by children. I'm only going to show you part 1, that you're going to want to watch part 2. Because we've been saying this over and over again. Now, hopefully this plays okay, but like it's funny as fuck. William Afton, for example, is truly a terrible father. Goku may not be the best father, but he is far from the worst father. It's clear. So the thing is that when it comes to anime worst dads, I wanted, if we ever did like a debate on who's the worst dad, I want it not to be on like super, like not superheroes, be on like, I want it to be on the arguably this is the protagonist or this is a superhero or this is a good guy, someone who's supposed to be a good guy, and just how terrible of a father they are. I feel like that's a fair comparison because like if we went into the whole like, I feel like if we went into the whole like rabbit hole of like, this guy's a terrible father. Well, yeah, but he's also just a terrible human being in general. Like, and it's kind of like no shit, right?
Yeah, for all the jokes about him, like like. It is a meme at this point in the community, but Goku at the very least is a good person. Like, like, and it's not like he's on purpose trying to neglect his family. Like that's the thing. It's just funny how it just happens. But then again, like Dragon Ball does have its roots in being a comedy manga, so there's a lot of things that kind of happen in the story because it's meant to be funny and not necessarily meant to be taken seriously, right?
Okay. Let's see how loud this is.
You the best baby I ever seen. There, I
So
said
I'm gonna refresh that. Dang it! I love you. I love you.
I love
You're
you.
the best baby I ever seen. There, I said it. An angel came to see Mary. She was doing laundry, and then the angel just appeared and she was really scared. So Gabriel was like, Mary, you're gonna have, like, I can't say it good. Mary, you're gonna have a baby.
I like how
You're gonna have a
the
baby.
adults
You
have the
will call him
costumes too and
Jesus.
everything. Like
And
they're
Mary
trying.
was like, I'm not gonna have a baby yet. I'm only a teenager. I'm not married. Then the
I like how
angel Gabriel
I'm not
told
married.
Joseph that Mary is not lying.
We've got to make this like censored a little bit,
You are
okay?
having a new baby. And so they met up. They went to Bethlehem, which was Joseph's old town. They ride a donkey.
I like how it's
A
Bethlehem.
camel.
Ham.
Camel. She said, this donkey's fast. They tried to go to a hotel and they asked the keeper for a place to stay. The keeper said, we have no rooms. Literally, no rooms. So Mary and Joseph walked away sadly, but then he said, the only place here in Bethlehem that you can stay is a staple. And then he just pointed the way and they followed.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
there, I said it.
I love you and you're the best baby I ever seen. There, I said it.
That's the Pacific part. Like, but as soon as he sounds like, I love you, and you're the best baby I've ever seen. There, I said it.
Honestly, this feels like how I explain Christmas to my niece, but I didn't care about the details.
It's because, like, the acting's done very well. I will say this. Like, you know,
Yeah.
we're not religious. We know the story of Jesus, baby Jesus. But, like, there's something about, like, children explaining things to you that's, like, almost like listening to a drunk adult. Bethlehem.
Ham. See, that shit is hilarious. And they even wrote that on the side.
Children are comedy gold. But yeah, we've been laughing about this ever since I happened to scroll on Instagram, because whenever I'm like looking at Instagram reels, I'm like, it's like I use it like it's TikTok, honestly, and like so I come across this and I was just like, Bard, you gotta watch this with me. Donkey to camel, back to donkey. That's a best donkey.
Back to donkey.
And I don't know, I show Bard a lot of stupid shit. Yeah, like, oh shit, biscotti.
Oh.
We're there. Yeah, like, stupid videos is like my favorite. It's my guilty pleasure. I love children.
Yeah.
For their drunk explanations
Of everything.
of everything. I'm so excited to have kids just to have that drunk explanation. Apparently, all the pain in the world is worth it just for that.
Apparently.
Yeah, but yeah, I really appreciate everyone dropping by and coming to see the stream. Will we be back tomorrow, honeys?
I will be back tomorrow. We're gonna be playing Monster Hunt.
We're gonna be playing the Monster Hunts.
When are we not playing Monster Hunt?
I mean, honestly,
At this point,
yeah. Should we? Wade. Who should we wade?
Yeah. Who should we wade?
Who should we wade today? Who should we wade today?
Short sharing on stream idea. Oh, but are you gonna share part 2 in the Discord? Oh, you're about to get on Monhunt?
Yeah, we have to, like, unfortunately, Bard has work tomorrow. I can share part 2 in the Discord if you guys really want. Or I can just report 1, and then you guys can like look for. But part 2 is like really close. They didn't. It's a very Christian. Sharing on stream ID. I think the reason why I don't do that though mostly is because like I'm worried about infringing on copyrights for certain when people because like this is being shared on both YouTube and Twitch at the same time, so I don't want to infringe on people's copyrights. Though I know like there's ways around it, especially if you're doing commentary or certain levels of commentary critiques with enough like context to like change it. But it's always like a little bit hit or miss with that, right? But yeah, I have to finish up some schoolwork, unfortunately. I did finish up some. It's just that there's a lot of write-ups that are due recently, like for the next couple of weeks. And on top of I have to do some like I haven't even touched video editing, quite honestly, and Bard and I still need to do some filming before he heads back. Where he will do his face reveal.
Face reveal.
Face reveal.
Face reveal.
Yeah. But well, maybe we'll watch someone play Metroid Dread on the hardest mode.
Metroid.
Oh, they've been going for 6 hours. Never mind.
Mm-hmm.
Never mind. We're not doing that to someone. Just trying to see who is online. Should we raid another VTuber? We probably should, right?
A VTuber.
New friend.
Yeah. We would play Manhunt with you, Aimee, more, but like we keep mistiming everything, so we're never aligned whenever we play Monster Hunter. But yeah, oh, you know what? Like I could probably try to help look for somebody to raid, right? Like, let me check.
I like checking out people's first.
Oh, that's my fault. I took a nap. Oh no, it's okay. It's okay. You know.
Yeah. Don't blame yourself.
Oh
wait, I turned off the piano that I had in the background. I thought it was like, I forget what screen I'm on sometimes.
Oh.
I don't like, similar to you, I don't like rating people that are like on for like so long.
Yeah, because I feel like I'm almost forcing them to continue longer, even though, like, you know, it's like, it remains to be seen if that's really true. Like, you know, what if they're doing like a longer stream? But I feel bad whenever I raid into somebody that's been on long and that they feel like they need to go for another hour because of a raid or something like that, you know?
And we also tried to
Drink
like,
water,
raid.
you dehydrated.
I think
bitch.
you're ready to hydrate.
So right now, for me, I don't see too many people on my list of peoples that are still on, because it's like I tend to have people that are on the different time zone,
God,
East Coast time zone. So
Arkville, in the morning my controller died mid-fight, so I chased it by swapping to the light bow gun and sending it till I got my charger.
oh wow.
That's what you should be streaming.
Big fun.
We could also just like say goodnight, because if you can't find someone.
Yeah, you know, it's up to you, you know? No pressure.
It's tough.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we'll raid into the Marvel Rivals then.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
fine.
Yeah. Anyways, I
Yeah.
hope everyone has a good day. Good morning. Is the cat? Why is the cat staring into my soul? Oh, the one with the fishbowl on his head. He's not a cat. not a cat. He's a coffee. I can't do it. I try to do that. I'm not a chihuahua. I'm chihuahua. He's not a kitty. He's a coffee.
Yeah. Staring into your soul. Or actually, yeah. I mean, Coffee stares at everyone, right?
Yeah, he does stare into people's soul with his
Mhm.
sometimes cross-eyed a little.
Sometimes.
Yeah. But I hope everyone has a good day, good morning, or good afternoon, and we'll see you next time. Good night, everybody.
Good night.